How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And you know what time it is. It is time for the joke of the day. If you're new to this channel, we do this 5 days out of the work week. Maybe you had a long, maybe you had a stressful day, or maybe it was in market conditions where you came to watch this video, plus hear one of my corny jokes. Here it comes. Why do we tell actors to break a leg? Because every play has a cast. Not too bad. But anyways, what we're going to be talking about today is OCGN, which ended up having a pullback. There was a lot of profit taking. I'm going to be talking about it some more inside of this video. And of course, with the volatile markets, I feel you guys need to make sure that you're in the know of what is going on. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. And due to the fact we've been seeing some very choppy movements, we want to make sure we're prepared. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent short interest information. Are shorts still heavily vested inside of this play? We're going to find out. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution, where institutions loading up on shares today while the stock was dipping. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more key details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for OCGN. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $7.55, being down 8.82%. On the low, it tested $7.41, and then on the high, testing $8.17. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 21.551 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 14.463 million shares. So even though we did have above average volume on the day, you could tell we ended up dealing with a lot of selling pressure. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the 1-year daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is around 52.38. And when we take a look at the moving averages on our chart, we continue to have strength above the 200-day. We are below the 100-day now, but we continue to have some strength above the 21-day EMA. And due to the fact is where we ended up closing is where we have a lot of support here, so things are still looking good. I'm also not too surprised about the sell-off that we had today, because there was a lot of profit taking and a lot of selling due to the volatility we had inside the market, and it did have a recent run up. We ended up experiencing levels going up as high as $8.76, so it was only natural for us to have a healthy pullback here. So as far as waiting for that news from WHO, which we've been updated and told, hey, it could be coming sometime this week, I know we're definitely staying in a really good spot here. It'd be a different ball game if we ended up falling below 7, but as you can see, as far as for the low on the day, we tested around $7.41 and we showed some strong support there. So going into tomorrow, depending on what the volatility is going to be inside of the market, if we do pull back, I want to see us continue to hold up this $7 level. We've done an amazing job holding up this area and also taking into consideration around 714, which we've covered, and also around this 725 area. So let's see what happens going into tomorrow for OCGN, and let's see when we end up getting that news. So we're going to take a look at the recent short interest information for OCGN. So let's scroll down on the page. Short shares availability is at 650,000, updated 6 minutes ago, and the short borrow free rate is at 2.52%. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of the 10th, it was at 50.78, and in the close yesterday, it was at 53.07. So of course, that is of no surprise due to the fact we ended up seeing a very strong run up yesterday. So shorts want to make sure, hey, we're going to be doubling down now that the stock price is higher and we see a lot more downside here. So that's just something to be aware of, but it also does show us if we end up having that catalyst as far as for that EUL, we could see some very strong moves to the upside because shorts, they would have to cover their positions. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for OCGN. So we can see here on the inflow, it was at 33.40, and then on the outflow, it was at 37.14. So we ended up having an outflow day. So we had 0 on the large for both. On the medium, on the inflow side, it was 21.17, and then on the small, it was at 12.23. 3. On the outflow side, on the medium, we had 25.46, and then on the small, we had 11.68. So we can see here, as far as retail activity is concerned, there was a good amount of selling, but we ended up having more inflow, so that was good. And as far as the medium, that's where it ended up becoming the difference maker there, with a lot of outflows on that medium side. Now, when we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, for today, we could see 0. So there were no large scale orders coming from institutions. So that is something that is great to see. And it does tell us they're probably continuing to hold their position because they're waiting out just like us as far as the update for that EUL. We ended up getting some news yesterday that was saying, hey, we should be coming to a decision sometime this week. So we're going to continue to keep our ears open and keep our eyes glued to the screen for that update. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for OCGN, I'm not surprised with the pressure we ended up seeing on the stock today. There was a lot of selling, there was a lot of profit taking because we had a run up the day before. And we also do know that this stock could be heavily manipulated. There's a lot of shorts who inside of this play, and we could see it clearly when we went on Fintel with the short interest being well over 50%. So how I look at it like this is, when we took a look at the order flow distribution, we didn't see any large scale orders. So institutions were not selling out of their positions. So they're probably waiting just like us in regard to that WHO approval. So I just want to make sure that's something for you to understand. I know many of you sent me a message saying, hey, Dre, I ended up adding up on this dip. And this is a good thing to do, especially if you have high conviction, you've done your homework, and you're feeling confident that we can get this WHO approval. Because if we do end up getting it, we can see some very strong moves in overall price action. But with all that said, as far as how we closed on today, I am still happy about it because we continue to trade in a tight range. So that means when we end up getting the news that we're looking for, we can really start seeing this stock move, and it makes it even better due to the fact that the short volume ratio is very high. So we're going to continue to be patient because that's all we really can do at the moment. But another thing that you want to be aware of, if we do not end up getting a decision from WHO for this week, we could easily look forward to seeing another pullback, and I just want to make sure that is something that you are prepared for. And also, you want to pay attention to what's going on in the market overall in general. We ended up having a big time sell-off. A lot of stocks were down. So for OCGN to have a red day, I really have no problems with that due to the fact we are continuing to hold up the $7 level. I know I keep saying that, but I want to make sure you guys have a good idea of where my mindset is at and what my plans are for this particular play and what my strategy is overall in general. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.